In the heart of the Middle East lies a silent tension that has shaped the fate of nations for decades. A nuclear puzzle involving three powerful players: Israel, Iran, and the United States. It's a story of secrets, sabotage, and diplomatic dilemmas. A story rarely told in full. This is the untold story of the nuclear triangle: Israel, Iran, and the USA. Officially, Israel neither confirms nor denies having nuclear weapons, but intelligence experts estimate Israel possesses anywhere from 80 to 200 nuclear warheads. This policy is known as nuclear opacity, or in Hebrew, amimut. It's a brilliant strategic move. By staying silent, Israel avoids international pressure to disarm, keeps adversaries guessing, and preserves its special relationship with the United States. But here's the untold part. Back in 1969, Israel's Prime Minister Golda Meir met with U.S. President Richard Nixon. Historians believe they struck a secret deal. Israel could keep its nuclear weapons, so long as it stayed silent and didn't conduct public tests. In other words, don't ask, don't tell. To this day, every U.S. administration has followed this unwritten rule. Now, let's talk about Iran. Here's what many people don't know. Iran's nuclear journey actually began in the 1950s. Under the Shah, America's close ally at the time. Under a U.S. program called Atoms for Peace, Iran received nuclear technology, training, and even plans for nuclear power plants. But everything changed after the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Iran's new leaders distrusted the West, and the West distrusted them. Over the decades, Iran kept working on its nuclear program. The question haunting the world became, is Iran building a nuclear bomb? Iran insists its program is peaceful, designed for energy and medical research. But Western intelligence believes Iran wants something called nuclear threshold status, the ability to build a bomb quickly if it chooses, without actually making one right now. It's like having all the parts of a gun without pulling the trigger. Here's where the story gets even more complicated. The United States has always presented itself as a champion of nuclear non-proliferation. Yet, it accepts Israel's secret arsenal, while fiercely opposing Iran's ambitions. This is what some call America's double standard. Consider this. Israel never signed the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, the NPT. Iran did sign it, and allows inspections from the International Atomic Energy Agency. Yet Iran faces sanctions, sabotage, and threats of war. Meanwhile, Israel faces none. Behind closed doors, U.S. officials admit this contradiction creates diplomatic headaches. But Washington believes a nuclear Israel is less dangerous than a nuclear Iran. Why? Because they trust Israel. But fear Iran could spark a nuclear arms race across the Middle East. This nuclear struggle isn't just fought in conference rooms, it's waged in the shadows. Over the last 2 decades, a secret war has unfolded. Iranian nuclear scientists have been mysteriously assassinated. Explosions have rocked Iranian nuclear facilities. And in 2010, a computer virus called Stuxnet crippled Iran's nuclear centrifuges. Many believe the United States and Israel were behind Stuxnet, a digital weapon that set Iran's program back by years. Iran, in turn, has carried out cyber attacks on Israeli infrastructure. It's a hidden war, never officially declared, but very real. Despite all the threats, there's another untold part of this story: secret diplomacy. Even when tensions are high, U.S. and Iranian officials have found ways to talk. In the 1980s, the Iran-Contra affair revealed secret arms deals between Iran and the U.S. In the 2010, Quiet talks in Oman led to the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, the Iran nuclear deal of 2015. Israel, however, was furious about the deal. It feared Iran would eventually use the agreement as cover to advance its nuclear program. When the U.S. withdrew from the deal in 2018, the region plunged back into uncertainty. For decades, Arab nations have proposed a bold solution: a nuclear weapons-free zone in the Middle East. But there's one major obstacle: Israel's secret arsenal. Arab states argue that if Israel can keep nuclear weapons, why should Iran, or anyone else, be forced to stop? Yet the United States fears that pressuring Israel to disarm could destabilize its key ally and reshape the region's balance of power. And so, the dream of a nuclear-free Middle East remains just a dream. So, what happens next? Will Iran finally build a bomb? Will Israel ever admit it has nuclear weapons? Could Saudi Arabia pursue its own nuclear program if Iran crosses the threshold? These questions haunt diplomats and intelligence agencies around the world, because one miscalculation could spark a nuclear crisis with unimaginable consequences. Israel's secret arsenal, Iran's nuclear ambitions, America's silent balancing act. A complex puzzle with no easy answers. This is the untold story of the nuclear dilemma in the Middle East, and it's still being written every day.